Okay, I want to say welcome again. Hello everybody and welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about my experiences teaching people martial arts. When you teach people martial arts, obviously you need to be responsible, humble, and you really need to know your stuff, right? You need to also be careful what students you teach, because some people, it depends on their personality. They've got to have the right personality, as in positive people, as such. But anyway, martial arts can't be taught to people if they don't have the right mind. It's not for violence, so you've got to remind people it's about peace, health, safety, protecting oneself and not just fighting for the sake of fighting. You have to let people understand that philosophy. The philosophy and the physical training go hand in hand. So teaching, as I say, I had a student that came to me. There was one student that came to me, a good friend of mine till this day. She just goes by the name of Kelly. A young college student who was one of my students as such in the colleges that I was teaching English at the time. And she knew that I was into martial arts and she heard about it, and she maybe saw a couple of my demonstrations. I wasn't a show off or anything, but I was sometimes asked to do demonstrations and stuff. And she basically came to me and she was asking that I teach her some stuff. Later on, after learning with me for some time, she actually admitted that she started to want to learn martial arts with me because she would just wanted to learn English really with me as a foreigner. She didn't really want to learn, but she said when she saw my passion and my heart and ability and everything, that's what made her stick to it and really want to learn the martial arts more. So basically what happened was she came to me, when I was in my early 20s teaching in my first job in one of my first colleges I was working at in northeast China. She was actually from the south. She was from Hunan province, and she came to me and basically asked me if I could teach her. So I started teaching her. I wasn't too sure about it, but she said, "Look, man," she said, she said, "You know more than some people do." Because I was like humble. I'd never taught as such like that before. I had shown people a few moves and stuff, like back in the day in England when I was learning my 5 animal kung fu and stuff. I'd show, because the teacher let me show a few things that I know. He said, "You do know it, don't you?" The form, for example, I said, "Just do it." Oh, me? I said, "Yeah, I can just do it." Okay, but basically the thing was, when I started, as I said, when I was in China, I never thought I'd show off or say that I know anything about kung fu and all this. She wanted to learn, and she said to me, she said, So I went ahead. I said, okay, we had to find a place. Sometimes when it was like raining and stuff, we had to train indoors. So basically what happened was, though, to cut a long story short, we used to train. We went down, we found this big square that was like nearby the college, not actually on the college campus, but far away. And we used to go there. We used to run. We used to jog down the road. I remember me and a group of students, her at first, and then in the end it ended up 4 people, and we ended up training together. And we used to train in the park as well sometimes and make some videos, but most of the time we train in this square, and we train really hard, and I train my best and try and show them everything I knew about martial arts. But it was mainly the long fist wushu type training which I'd been doing with the teacher that I'd been learning there. Other stuff like teaching other martial arts skills apart from long fist wushu, I started to teach over time to other groups as well as the wushu, because we'd go to the same square, be it sunny weather or winter, and even the structures and the architecture, the things would change over the years too, because I've been there for so long over time. And we'd train there, in the square. You'd see some like old people around sometimes too. It was funny watching, but I was not showing off, but I was so happy to train. And the most students I ever had, because people were wanting to learn, and the most students I ever had was about, I think, like, I don't know, 16, 20 people, something like that in there, training with me at one time. And I just take them through the stretches and then the form and everything. And when I think back at how quick that time went, but they're beautiful memories. They really, really are, in the square, training the martial arts. We'd take some water. I told them to bring some water in case you get a bit thirsty, when they did. And then in the winter time, we'd wrap up really warm in the winter and still train. It was my passion. We'd train once or twice a week on the weekend, with a Saturday, Sunday, or both, or whatever it was. And it was mornings, like, early morning, late morning, whatever it was, coming up to lunchtime, about 10 o'clock or something, 10 or 11. We'd train for an hour to 2 hours, something like that. Now, as the years went by, I still continued to teach people, and at every job that I worked at, I think that's fair enough to say, in every job that I worked at, I was actually teaching students, or a student, or some students, martial arts, as in individuals or groups. And it would I'd teach them anywhere. I'd teach them on rooftops, open spaces, or nearby the schools, if not in the schools. I'd teach them at home. I had training I did at home. Most of the training has been done for free, but I'll be teaching them in groups. A lot of them, young ladies in the colleges, at the age of 19, 20, whatever, 20 up to 24, something like that. I've taught people, mostly Chinese people, women and men, like a young guy, college students, these are. Taught them bits of everything I know, basically, different forms and things I'd learned from different kung fu, karate, kickboxing, kung fu, lots of Wing Chun and basic Tai Chi self-defense. And the whole thing has just been absolutely fantastic. I haven't actually taught anybody weapons, as far as I know. I haven't actually done that, taught people weapons properly, teaching them weapons. But just basic self-defense. I taught some basic self-defense to a young lady from Russia. I taught martial arts to a guy from Wales. Okay, it was great, a good friend of mine, and that was that. So actually someone I used to work with, someone I knew, and used to teach him some basic self-defense martial arts and some Wing Chun. Most of the martial arts I've taught people has been Wing Chun in the later years of it all. And I've taught some people who've really been able to learn really well, some young ladies and young men, and I believe Wing Chun's a great art for self-defense. In Mandarin Chinese, it's Yong Chun, okay, Yong Chun Chuan. It's an art for close quarters combat, and I've been teaching what I know. That's all I can do, teach what I know. And the students I've taught, they've always known that. I've taught what I know to the best of my ability, including all of the skills that I've taught from the different arts that I've learned from different people. I have learned martial arts, as I say, for so many years under different teachers and staff, including a bit of Wing Chun, which I did with another teacher, which I didn't mention to you guys before, which I kind of quit and I went to another one. But as I say, I've jumped around from school to school, but everything ultimately has been really beneficial, what I've learned, and I love to share and keep the knowledge alive. Self-defense wise, I think Wing Chun's a great art, and putting some Tai Chi in there, and then adding some like free-flowing self-defense and active stuff, doing some basic exercise for fitness, some punching and kicking like from kickboxing too. Just the movements I think are really also useful. It's good to know all-round knowledge of different martial arts. You don't have to know everything, but it's good to know many different types of movements. From the previous training I did with weapons too, and like wushu weapons and things like that, that is also good because it translates into movement. Like when you're not holding a weapon, you've got your bare hands, and different ways you'd move, the actual flow of the movement actually works differently into your hands too. You're actually learning to control your body, your mind and body, So that's basically that. I've really enjoyed trying to teach people. Some people have given up early. Some people have stuck it out a bit longer. I remember certain students of mine that have stayed with me for longer periods of time, weeks and months, and really learned well what they've been able to teach. And it's been a wonderful, wonderful experience. We've trained in different weathers. I've trained with people that have actually had previous experience, like in Wing Chun training and things like that, and martial arts. I've trained with some young guys who was able to pack a punch and been able to, who've got some good fitness in them. I'm thinking of some of the guys I've taught now as well as the young ladies, but the young ladies, it's been such a beautiful, wonderful thing to teach them some self-defense skills, And I can remember some of my students from over the years who've learned martial arts with me have really learned well. It's a beautiful thing, and I just feel very lucky to be able to teach people martial arts anytime, anywhere. I've been sharing martial arts. I've been sharing a lot of martial arts videos online, sharing the knowledge too. I'm not currently teaching anybody at the moment, but I may be teaching somebody else soon. I'm not too sure. I would like to open up classes or kind of even courses even at some stage. I don't know, if anyone was to want to learn or see how we go along the way in China, doing courses or something, I don't know. I'd like to do something like that. where I can teach people even for like a week of training or something. If I can open that and get an experience, give people some experience in some martial arts training, like my kind of training, you know, that would be a great thing to do. I would like to do that. A week or a month of training with me, if anyone would like to do that. I mean, we have to work that out in time. I do like teaching people, or one-to-one training is good, but I only know what I know, and I'm not the toughest fighter. And as I say, the thing is, no martial art, you're not invincible if you train any martial art. You know, you just know some skills, and it's how you use them in self-defense. It doesn't make you invincible or like you're always able to defend yourself. But it's I don't bullshit people. You know, I don't say I'm this or that, or I don't say that this is the way to protect yourself. This is the style. No, I don't. I just show them what I know, and we train for the reactions, and we train all kinds of reactions, sparring, sticky hands, the sensitivity training, and all that. And you know, when you want to train your power and stuff, as I say, you can train on things like a punch bag. Last year I bought myself a punch bag, a freestanding punch bag. It's okay. Good. I train at home. I don't have much space, as I say. I do a workout every day, like stretching and stuff anyway. But you know, you can train if you don't have other stuff. You can use apparatus in parks, and they've got like trees and stuff. You can use things different ways to train your power, you know. But you know, in terms of training with someone, you're training for the sensitivity and the control, blocking, and then again, the fitness of the martial arts is just great. Whether you're training full on like fitness, like wushu forms, or even just basic like karate techniques and coordination movements. I love teaching people martial arts for the coordination, the focus, the fitness. It's a great thing, you know. So I've had some wonderful experiences teaching people, and I've been so happy to see them develop in some of those skills and see them actually turn around and be so like surprised or so intrigued by it and want to come back and learn. And over time, and it may not have been long periods of time. Some of them have like been over a year or two, whatever, of learning, but some people have just learned with me for like few months or a few weeks, and what they learned, it was just a great thing. It was just nice to see them develop it however they developed, and show what this is all about, martial arts, you know, kung fu and that, from my perspective, and just what I know. So I love teaching people, and hopefully I can teach more people in future, okay? As in face to face, not just on the screen, you know, because it's a different thing, you know. But you know, you can only teach what you know. I'm not some world-class fighter. Come on, man, let's do it, you know, and we just knock each other out. That's not the thing. I'm just showing what I know. There's a lot of tough fighters and better people who are better fighters than me, but what I know works, and you can make any kind of skills work in the right kind of situation with the right reaction. Self-defense for men and women of all ages. Fitness training for people of all ages. Mental health, physical fitness. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Take care now. Train hard and stay safe.